All right, ladies. So today's video is about how to tell if a guy really likes you. We all know. I'll be honest with you. Before starting this channel, I used to think that us guys were very straightforward, and I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. It's okay. I don't date guys, so I wouldn't know how difficult guys can be. But all right, I had a bias. Guys are difficult. All right, they're complicated. Um, in a very dumb way though. Like guys are difficult in a dumb way, and women are too, in a crazy way. So let's begin this. Hey, I can tell that everyone who's here is in the notification squad. And all you guys are in the notification squad. There is no way in hell you guys can just pop out of nowhere like you guys were waiting for my channel. That indicates loserism. You guys are not losers like that. You guys had notifications. So thank you so much for hitting the notification. We're doing this every single day, every afternoon. All right. So that's what we're doing. Hey, what's up, everyone? Jesus Christ, everyone's happy that today is Friday. That's what it seems like. Today we're gonna be doing some questions that I got some questions today from some of my paying clients. I'm gonna be doing a coaching call in 15 minutes with a client. And before that though, I'm gonna be doing an email question that got sent to me yesterday. So I'm gonna be answering it right now. All right. And the first email question is about a guy who apparently she doesn't know whether or not he likes her. So I'm gonna help her figure it out. Let's hope it's a good one. I'm just like I like giving advice, but sometimes I can't deal with the not stupidity, but the silliness. All right, it's like don't tell people you watch my channel if you're doing this. Like if you watch my channel and acting like this, don't tell people you watch my channel. All right, say you're watching Mark Rosenfeld's channel or fucking I don't know someone else. Just don't say you watch my channel. Right? He teaches nicer tactics. That's what he teaches. He teaches you how to be angels and how to, be polite and honest and stuff like that. We don't teach that, but I'm more of the fucked up side. I'm on the dark side of the web. He's more on the light side and more, a nicer version and stuff like that. All right, let's begin this. So the question comes from someone on Earth. I can't say where she's from. All right. So let's begin this, people. Don't make fun of my reading. I'm not a good reader. I read slow, so don't make fun of me. Alex, thanks for replying yesterday. I'll call us the Europeans for any future reference. Okay. Sending you a follow-up. Here's how our before date texting went yesterday. In other words, here's how their text before the date went. He waited for me to initiate, asked me when and where it'd be good to meet, but warned that he could have some unexpected work screw ups. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, that is beautiful. What a beautiful way to set up your flakes. I love that. I'm actually gonna start using that. After an hour, he sends me another text saying that he may not be able to make it because he doesn't feel well. Oh yeah. You know what? Initially, once he told let me record this right here because I gotta actually record it. All right, look, I'm reading the question, right? Initially, if a woman tells me that we're going out tonight, but she doesn't, but that things might, when a woman tells me that she might be a little late because of work and stuff like that, I always say, you know what, let's just reschedule for some other time. People use that as a way to control you. They use that as a way to, it's like a power move. Like saying I may be a little busy today. Or I mean, saying I may be late today because of work is a power move. I think it's best to always cancel. You want to take away people's power over you by making you wait. Don't ever let people make you wait. Always cancel and say, just hit me up when things are more available. If they hit you up and they say, hey, I'm free today, and then they say, hey, by the way, I'm working, so I'm down for today, but I'm working today, so I may get out a little late. Reschedule again, and make them wait 2 weeks. If they do that shit again, make them wait 3 weeks. If they do that shit again, make them wait 4 weeks. Like you do reschedule, but you're not going to reschedule for tomorrow. You're going to reschedule for next week, and then if they do it again, you're going to reschedule 2 weeks from now. You see what I'm saying? Their punishment is making them wait. All right, so let me see. All right, so by the way, not by the way, people, if you guys have any questions, you can hit it on the super chat, and when I'm done with her, I'll start with you guys. All right. So if you want to help the channel, donate, hit that super chat. But I'm not going to be reading your questions right now. I mean, I'm not going to be reading the chat. I'm reading the question. All right. So after an hour, he sends me another text saying he may not be able to make it because he doesn't feel well. Something about having worked into small hours several nights this week and beginning to fall apart. I say, okay, sorry to hear that. Should I check later or no? You see, you should just say, okay, that's cool. You know what? Let's just reschedule because I have other things to do later on. So I think it's best we just hit each other up when we're both more available. That's what you should have done. But you didn't do it, and that's okay. He replies, let's see a couple of hours. I may drop by your area for a quick drink before going to my bed. I offered to come to a pub closer to him, to his place, if more convenient for him. He replies 2 hours later that he will make it because he cannot leave the office. In all honesty, I think he's seen somebody else. That's what I do. When I put you in the back burner, girl, let me tell you something. When I put you in the back burner and I'm going out with a girl that night and I'm not sure whether or not she's gonna see me, I'll say, hey, you know what? I'll let you know if I'm able to see you. And when that girl says, hey, I won't be able to make it, I hit you up and say, hey, girl, I'm free now. You do that too, other men. All right, we all, and you guys too do that shit too. So that's what's going on, is that he's putting you in the back burner. And you should not let people do that. If somebody ever says maybe to me, I'm gonna assume they're hoping that their real date. I'm gonna assume that they're hoping that their real date is gonna fall through. So what I say is no to them. I just said, no, never mind. Let's just do it some other time. All right. I get super pissed, but reply that he can text me whenever he's done whenever he's done, as I be out with colleagues. I know I shouldn't have done that, but anyways, now it's done. Of course, yeah. I mean, yeah, of course, you fucked up, but all right. Um, he says his work will take some time, but then asks me when will I be leaving his city, which is today. I tell him I tell him, and he offered to meet me over coffee today after his morning meeting, if and when I'm available. We agreed. We agreed when to meet and stopped texting back and forth around midnight. Admittedly, I had to shift things around to make today's date work, but obviously I didn't tell him. All right. See what I'm saying though? Anytime a woman tells me that she can't make it because she's busy, it means she's not interested. Because I know you could fucking change things around. I know your grandma could. I know your grandma could fucking. I know your grandma could live another hour. All right, your grandma could live another afternoon. You don't have to see your grandma tonight, but for some reason you have to see your grandma. I mean, your grandma has been living for 90 years, and for some reason you need to see her now. Right now, like you really had to choose Friday night to see your goddamn grandma. All right. Anyways, not speaking for any personal experience. Okay, so it says, admittedly, I had to shift things around. All right. During our day today, he was visibly nervous and at first, but he relaxed after a few minutes. Said he finished work at 4 in the morning and offered some more excuses for skipping last night. He must he, shit. All right. Okay, I don't know what's going on through your mind and through all of this. He kept looking at my eyes and lips while I was talking, cracked several jokes, looked as if he was genuinely enjoying himself, and the conversation flowed naturally. At some point, he hinted at visiting my city. He didn't say he'd come to see me in particular, and so as I thought he was just making small talk, I didn't invite him to any particular activity, just continue asking irrelevant questions. He looked up in surprise. After 1.5 hours, when everything was at its pickup, at its peak, and he was really into the whole thing, I told him I had to leave and to catch my train. It was actually true. He looked at his watch, immediately switched behavior from flirty to super serious. He seemed frustrated, even even a bit upset, maybe. He kind of whispered that he also has to get back to work and stood up to go. When we said goodbye, quick hugs, peck on the cheek, I started saying, so will I see you again? And he replied really quickly, without even looking at me, when I come to your city. Cracked one more quick joke and ran off in opposite directions, as if chased by invisible zombies. I don't think I'd have time to tell him anything else. He left that quickly. That's so weird. I must have done something wrong. He suddenly became cold and distant, as if I had hurt him, and he was trying his best to control his emotions. Maybe he thought I was blowing him off, or maybe he realized that he was late to go to work. He hadn't checked his watch at all during our date. Who knows? I sent him a text an hour later, thanked him for the time, offered the train excuse for rushing to leave, and said it'd be nice to see him out of my city soon. He hasn't responded, at least not yet. Oh, okay, all right, all right, all right. Let's find out what happened. All right. So what's your question, girl? So my question so far is this: do you think he's interested? And if yes, how much? I don't think he's that interested. I'll be honest with you. What you're telling me, I don't know, man. I mean, it doesn't sound like he's that interested. Was he looking for a hookup yesterday last night, or back to the meeting? No motherfucker is that into work. All right. Come on. His texting last night was very weird. Made me feel like he wasn't really sure if he wanted to see me. Exactly, he wasn't sure. Actually, sometimes it wasn't that he wasn't sure whether or not he was going to see you. It was whether or not that other girl was going to pull through. Um, I think he could be the kind of guy who would do that, kind of feeding off of people's reactions and their emotional intensity. What's your take on the guy's behavior at the end of the day, today's date? Any guess is good? No, I don't think it's good, to be honest with you. Um, Whenever he, okay, 1 second. All right, people, look, I press pause. I press pause. All right, what do you guys think? All right, I press pause, so she won't hear me. What do you guys think? He says, this guy insinuated that he wanted to be with me. And I'm not asking about your problem, DOC. I'm asking about this problems. What's your opinion on it? Hey, thank you, I am Roa, for the $5 donation. All right, so Michelle said he's a no-no. Diosa apologized, rightfully so. Um, Adrienne says she's wasting her time. Nigerian says he was playing interested to get her pan. Coco, he says he wants to smash. I don't think he wants to smash Coco. Another woman, that's what I think. I think Flake, damn sweet talking, leading her on. It can be work. All right, Fox, you don't be giving no goddamn suggestions saying you could work out. I think he's not interested. Yep. I think the girl's a liar and she's making it up just to talk to you. All right, Carol, we got. All right. Okay. So I think my assumptions are right. I'll let her know that that he's not the right guy. All right. 1 second. All right, look, man. After deliberate research, I think that you should stay with him. I think you should ask him out. I think you should ask him, text him. In fact, text him right now and tell him that you miss him. And yeah, open up. Definitely tell him how you feel for him, and always and be very free to hang out with him. Be very free. I think he's the guy for you, girl. I think he is the guy for you. So continue seeing him. And yeah, man. Anyways, man, I hope I was able to help you. Let me know how things. You see, this is what I would say if I was really trying to make money. All right, I would tell you to start chasing him, and yeah, you see, but what I'm about to tell you goes against my self-interest, which is leave him alone. All right, drop this dude. He's not that interested. The reason why he's there is because a dude says no to pussy. All right, dudes like they can't. At least they'll entertain the possibility of getting being with you. Like they may not be interested in you, but their dicks always say, you know what, just go. You might like her. Like that's how dicks are. Um, so I just move on, man. Hopefully, the fact that I'm telling you this, hopefully you move on since I'm telling you that. But move on, all right? Move on. This is not gonna work out. What you're telling me, don't be giving no goddamn fantasies with him. Let me see. Honestly, do you think I should forget about him? Last, I like to get your advice on how to stop obsessing over him. It's annoying and starts to affect my day-to-day work, which sucks. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. If you're obsessed over him, just for the meantime, just focus on other things. I know it's hard, but this is something that you're just gonna have to bite the bullet. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be painful, but focus on other things. Outside of that, though, what you gotta do is if you cannot deal with this pain so much, I mean, nah, just forget it. Just forget it. Just know that this will never work out. All right. Just believe what I'm telling you. This will never work out. Hopefully, like I said before, since I'm the one telling you that, hopefully it'll get through. It'll get through your hard head. It'll get through your head if I tell you this. All right. Don't pursue this. If he comes to you, I take my word, it's not genuine. All right. Move on, girl. All right. Move on. Drop the knife. Drop everything. Move on. All right. Be safe. Hopefully, I was able to help you out. It's you gotta be realistic with these people, man. It's pretty much a big part of my job is just helping people wake up. You know, like just wake up. It's over, man. Just it's over. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got another call to make right now. Love, you're from Mexico. Hey, Carla, what's up? I love Mexico. I'm going to Mexico next month. This month, actually, I'm going to Mexico. Let's see. All right, I'm calling right now. What's up, Imani? All right.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, what's up? Ready to talk?
How are you? Huh?
Ready to talk?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm great. How about you?
Pretty good. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Oh, there you go. I like that. Yeah, most people don't. Most people act cool when they're talking to me. Good, good.
No, I really am.
Are you holding on to yourself because you're about to faint?
Not about to say because I'm driving, but like I'm really, really excited. Like this is awesome.
All right, it's not excited enough. All right, so tell me what's going on.
Okay, I'm calling you. First, I wanted to call you just to say how much I appreciate you and your channel and just all the advice that you have given to us. I have read many books trying to figure men out and figure out relationships and everything. And, you know, I can remember when Steve Harvey book came out, it just seemed like just things not working out. But I started watching you around Thanksgiving. And I was in this long relationship, 6 years. He was a deep narcissist, controlling, all this other crazy stuff. And I knew I needed to get out, but I just didn't want to deal with the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started watching your channel, and one video, you were like, just deal with the pain, just sit down, just go through it. You know, you'll be fine, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was just listening and listening, just kept replaying it. But eventually I got the strength to break it off.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not talked to him since New Year's Eve. And I just want to thank you. You know what I'm saying? I've been to counseling and trying to figure out what's going on, but it just didn't click until I started watching your channel. So I wanted to say that first.
All right, good. We got some fans. It's good to know that some of my fans are not hard-headed, you know?
No, man, it was hard. It's still rough, like you said. Just, you know, you may feel the pain being single and everything. Just focus on yourself. I started a meetup group where I organize different events to keep busy. I'm doing the things I want to do.
Wow, what meetup group? What meetup group is it?
Huh?
What meetup group? What's it about? What's it about? Don't tell me what meetup group. Just tell me what's it about.
Oh, it's about basically I live in Metro Detroit area, so we go to different events across the city. You know, we go to the movies, we do bowling, roller skating.
Wow, how many people go there?
Well, the last movie was probably like 11, 12 people. My roller skating, only one person came out, and I was surprised because it's in the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
But I even started a Robert Greene book club. We started with the Laws of Human Nature. So far, 4 people for that activity.
All right, that's what I did. You copied me, girl.
Yeah, I'm not copying, but I'm just trying to just keep learning, you know, just keep learning and growing. And that's what the purpose of the group is for. We're just learning and growing. It's for singles. So we're just learning and growing together. But
wow,
that's coming up.
That is so cool. You're doing a lot of great things. That's cool.
I'm trying to. So that's why I wanted to call you to talk about the last situation that I was in and how I handled it.
All right, tell me.
Kind of give me pointers on that, and then just more pointers on being single and just living life, you know, to the fullest until whatever comes along.
All right, go ahead. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, so the last situation was I had met this guy like years ago, probably like, I don't want to say, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. So we met, we hit it off, and at that time my issue was I fall in love too early at first sight. They don't really have to do anything. I'm validating these men and, you know, just letting them all in from the beginning. So
give me 1 second. Hey, 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got my UPS package. I have to sign it. Can you hold on for like 1 minute?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay.
1 second. Um, give me a minute. All right.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, come in. I'll be back.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, ladies. So today we're going to talk about the 10 signs of high self-esteem. Now, I don't know if you guys hear the rain. You hear the rain? Okay, I hear the rain. I like the rain. So these signs are not about me telling you, hey, look, be happy, have high self-esteem. No. These signs are more about, hey, look, you see these signs, just realize this is high self-esteem. I want to show you because people think high self-esteem is about being good looking. It's about having the signs of high self-esteem, being good looking, having muscles, being all Herculicious and shit. But in reality, that's just superficial. You see, high self-esteem has more essence than the external. High self-esteem is all about realizing the relative mode of existence, which means that me and you, we're not better than each other. We're just as is. We're all equal. You see, and also we're all powerful. You see, that's what high self-esteem is about. It's not about realizing you're better than somebody else. It's about realizing that I have a certain ability that most people don't know that they have. You see, so it's not about you saying, "Hey, I'm better than you." It's simply because you realizing the potential that you have. You see, like the abilities that you have. There is a power that most people have that they don't realize they have. And the more you realize your personal power, which is to say your ability to control your environment, almost as though you're in a matrix, the higher your self-esteem. You become an anomaly, a glitch in the matrix. So this is what this is all about. And these are the things you're going to begin to develop.
All right, I'm here. Sorry about that. All right,
That's okay.
what were you saying?
Okay, so I was just wanted to tell you just to recap on the situation I was in and how for you to kind of coach me how I dealt with the situation. I think I did okay.
Okay.
So anyway, I met this guy a long time ago. I used to work across the street. He worked in this like little party store or whatever. So we connected. We decided to start dating, and we had went out of town or whatever. And then when I came back, he's Arabic, so he went to Dubai, and he was gone for like 2 months. So when he came back, he was like, well, why don't you meet me in Chicago? Why don't we hang out there, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, whatever. So me put too much effort in. I drove to Chicago, picked him up. We stayed there for the weekend. And then when we had came back, like the very same day, his brother had called me and told me that, he had lied about his age. He told me he was 27. He was really 17 at the time. And so I was like, whoa, so it was like too much, but I was already involved. And so basically he went no contact for a week. So I had talked to him for a week.
Wait a minute, how old is he?
This was like 6-7 years ago. He was like 17 at
How
the time.
how old were you?
How old am I now? I was 30, 35.
Okay.
Yeah, so at first I thought it was like a 10-year difference because he told me he was 27, 28.
Yeah, but not a 20-year-old or 18, right? That's crazy.
Right, so he lied about his age. He looks 20-something, okay? So anyway, when we had got back from Chicago, his brother had told me that he was 17, so I was like, oh, hell, but I was already emotionally involved with him.
That's tough.
So it was tough. So I decided, okay, so he had with no contact. So then finally he came back around like a week later. And then, so we had decided to continue. But anyway, it ended up ending probably like a couple months later because he was still messing around, lying, all this other crazy stuff. And I was just like, I was done. So then out of nowhere, every year he'll call. Like 1 year he called, and this over the last 4 or 5 years. 1 year he called and was like, well, I want to get married. I had the best time of my life in Chicago with you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not marrying you, blah, blah, blah. So then he called back another year that he still missed me. Can I go out to eat with him, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. So then after I had broken with my ex, so this is recent. This is in January. So out of nowhere, this was probably like a few weeks ago, he texted me. He was like, something I want to. He gave me a necklace. The necklace was his mother's. His mother died, so he had asked me, could he have the necklace back after he gave it to me? And I was like, first of all, you gave it to me, but I understand your mother passed. I will try to find the necklace for you. So I couldn't find the necklace. When I found the necklace, he didn't want the necklace back because he wanted to take me out. I said, I don't want to take you out. Send me your address and I'll mail you the necklace. He didn't want it. So then he called me a few weeks ago asking for the necklace. I said, I don't know where the necklace is. I'll try to find it. So then I was like, but anyway, you owe me some money because when we went to Chicago, he was supposed to pay half for it, but he didn't pay the half. So I paid for it. So he was, and I was like, you still owe me money from 4 or 5 years ago. So he was like, okay, I'm going to pay you. So I said, put it in the mail or send it to me PayPal. He didn't want to send it. So he said, I'm going to drop it off. So I said, okay. So when he came over, we were talking and laughing, blah, 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 just, having fun. And then he came over again the following week and come to find out he read, Robert Greene. And, he had mentioned something like, I'm trying to get people to need me and not do without me and all this other stuff. So I thought, okay, that's a red flag, whatever. So then this was this week. So Friday he called me. I had called and texted. Friday he called and he was like, well, what are you doing Sunday or what? I said, well, I'm busy Friday. He said, what are you doing tonight? I said, I'm busy. I'm hanging out with friends, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm going to be busy all weekend. But he said, well, what about Sunday? I said, I don't know. I said, maybe Monday. So this past Monday, we were texting each other back and forth, and he said that he was going to come over to the house and that he was going to cook dinner for me and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, whatever, it's going to be late because I had a meeting after work, right? So when I said that, I was going to be late, and I would call him once I got home. He waited a minute, right? Then he texted me back and he said, sorry, Nisha, I'm not going to be able to make it. My boss just called me. What is going on? He said, my boss just called me and I have to go in. Sorry, but we have to do this another day. And I was like, I just sat there because I felt like he was playing the game. So I texted him back and I was like,
oh, wow, you woke up.
Right. I texted him back and I was like, you know what? I said his name and I was like, I made arrangements, for you to come over this evening. I changed my schedule and I don't agree. I understand, but I said delete my number. And he texted me back. He was like, oh, I wanted to come. I texted you back and I said, first of all, you texted me. You didn't call, and I said wanting and doing is two different things. And I said, delete my number. And he was like, sent me a sad face and said, okay. He was like, if that's what you want. And I didn't respond, and I haven't responded, but I cut him off.
Good.
Because I felt like he's playing games with me, trying to inflict pain, trying to get me to attach to him. But you're the one who messed up 4 or 5 years ago. And like you said, you should come back really trying to impress me and not playing these games.
Nah, it's unfortunately, you see it's one of those things that you guys are just not compatible, man. He doesn't feel the way he doesn't feel the way you feel about him. Like it began with deception. He wanted to get in your pants, and you guys slept together, right? You said you guys slept together.
We did.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
and
it was terrible, and it was terrible. Let me say that. It's terrible.
Hey man, he was a teenager.
Hell no, it was still bad. God, it shouldn't have been that bad.
It's what can you do?
Well, you should have said 17 and not 27.
Oh, then, but he would have not gotten what he wanted. So, she won't just say the truth. I'll be like, yo, dude, say you're 27, all right, bro? But hey, man, what's done is done. You just got to move on from this, man. It's okay. We all take losses in life. This is your loss. This is your loss. What did you do wrong, though? What did you feel like you did wrong?
Well, 5 or 6 years ago.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Where did you think you went wrong? Like,
from the very beginning, and that was where I have been working on myself, is just being all in from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Not taking the time to get to know a person, just believing what they're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just believing what they're saying to me. It's just all talk. It's all bluff. and just being all in and giving my resources. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not getting anything in return. So I think that has been an issue.
And the age gap. I mean, not the age. Actually, no. I'm done. Not the age gap, because it's everyone has. It's not even that, because you could definitely make it work even if there's an age gap. What's wrong? What was wrong though is that you just weren't reading his signs of interest.
Right.
Like as a woman, it's very important to read how interested a guy is, so that you could know how much you should chase. Like it's you're not gonna go after someone who hasn't. Not that he shows a lot of interest, but that he shows potential to be more interested in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Like, how to know when a guy has potential or is showing real interest in you. I've been watching a lot of your videos, and so I'm
Now,
getting a better understanding.
okay, let me ask you this: when a guy likes you, when a guy like there's a difference between when a guy likes you and when you don't know whether the guy likes you,
Okay.
right? When
Yes.
when you know when the guy likes you is pretty easy. It's like you don't have to convince him to come out.
Right.
Like you don't even worry whether or not he's gonna flake on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but when you don't know, but when you like the guy and you don't know if he likes you, everything you do, you worry. Like, is he still gonna follow through? Like, it's worrying whether or not he's gonna follow through. You know what I'm saying? So with that case, in life, you just have to be open to whatever people bring to you. In other words, you don't put any effort. Like if they don't chase, you let them go. Like you gotta like stop worrying if he's gonna like me or not. They're either gonna like you or not. Simple as that. So just accept it. So you know what I do? It's kind of like after I have sex with a woman, I don't text her. I don't text a woman after I have sex with her because I got what I want. Now you go get what you want. Do you want a relationship? Go get it. Like go get that relationship. I am not gonna go after somebody who likes me enough, but doesn't like me enough to text me first. You see what I'm saying? So those are the standards you should have. Where if you like me, you go get me. I'm here, but I'm not gonna go after you. And a guy that likes you, he'll make the effort. The guy that doesn't like you, you're gonna have to ask him to do that. And if you gotta ask him or force him or trick him into doing it, it's not meant to be. But the thing is that my tactics definitely could trick a guy into chasing, but temporarily, you know. But my tactics could definitely, what my tactics do the best, it solidifies what's already there. When a guy likes you, you could make him like you even more. But you cannot make a guy who mediocre likes you really like you with this. It doesn't work that way. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. It's like it's pretty much practicing acceptance. You're accepting it. So it's because the problem is that when you let them go, there's a certain fear behind it because they may never come back. Like I'll be with a girl and I'll meet her, and because I'll chase you if we haven't had sex, right? But right afterwards, I'm not going to chase you. And what happens is that sometimes they don't chase back, and sometimes like fuck, I want this one to chase me back, but they don't. So that's the problem with those standards is that you will take a loss from time to time, but in the long run, the ones that chase, you have them because you don't have to guess whether or not they like you. They already made it obvious. You know what I'm saying? It's like you already have that assurance because they're chasing you so much. They're literally saying after you have sex with me, I'm willing to text you first. That's how much I like you. That I'm willing to text you first. Yeah, and those are the standards you should have with people that you either like me this much or I don't want you at all.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions?
No, just more stuff. Just tips on just dating. Like right now, my focus is not even on dating per se. I just want to take this time off. Like I said, I was in a long relationship for 6 years, and that's kind of like when I started watching you, and then I was able to walk away from that, and that was severe narcissistic controlling relationship, and it was just hard for me to walk. Every time I wanted to walk away, it was just too painful, so I kept going back, kept being under his standards, whether the cheating, the lying. It was just so much stuff, just repeatedly. And then just one day I was like, you know what, enough is enough. I have to deal with this pain. I have to. And I just texted him one day and I just said, let's just be friends. And that was just the beginning of me waking up and being strong. And that's what I want. Like, I just, like you say a lot of times, like, you have to love yourself, be happy with yourself. And that's just what I'm working on right now. Like, I'm not even focused on any relationship. And as soon as I recognize any mess or anything, you know, I just want to be done with it. Mm-hmm. Just cut them off completely. So just more tips as far as being single and being happy and whole.
Well, I mean, you're doing the right things. I mean, finding friends, making friends, and doing new activities. I mean, that's the what else can you do? You know? Nothing. I mean, yeah, just like as long as you focus on building a social circle and doing hobbies that you like with other people, and having your finances set. And that's all you got to do. I mean, like me right now, I'm focusing on my I'm not focusing on making friends right now. In fact, I'm not even going out with any girl. I don't hang out with anybody. I haven't hung out with somebody in 2 months because I'm just focused on paying my bills. After I pay my bills, then I'm going to start going to art school, making friends in the art school. But first you focus on one area that gives you stability, and then you go on to the fun parts. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as long as you got your finances set, then you could talk, then you could make friends and stuff like that. The date as a woman, for women, the dating will come. It's not like you're a guy. As a guy, if I will tell you to build up a business or start your own club, be a leader somewhere. But for women, you can easily guys just come to you. So you don't need to do none of that stuff, you know? Okay. So, yeah, you're doing the right thing. I don't think you need anything more. Just keep applying the stuff I teach. And not just me, there's other channels, you know, like, you know, yeah. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Let me see if there's anything else.
Let me tell you another situation too. This other situation has been weird. I don't want to say their names. I don't know if you're recording this, but my ex-husband's brother has been hitting on me. Now, I had told him several times, you know, not to do that. And he may contact me. It may have been a death in the family, or something about my son or something like that. But I just think it's just weird. You know what I mean? And I want to block him, but he's my son's uncle. So I wanted to get your advice on that too as well. I just thought it was weird. And he's still married. And I told him, you're married, don't contact me. This is not.
I'll tell you what, man. If he's doing that to you, he's doing that to other people. People never do things just once. It's never it's never a repeated offense. Like if a dude gropes you, he's groped other women. You know, like that's just how it is. So I mean, I bet his wife may know about it, that he does that. I could promise you. I mean, it's your choice. It's your choice. You could block him, or I don't. I mean, is it hard to ignore him?
It's not hard to ignore him. Like I said, I just put him in check real quick, or if he sends something, like he'll say good morning, beautiful, just out the blue, and I'm like, and I just stopped responding because I already told him once not to address me in that manner.
Yeah, just ignore it.
Like, at this point, should I block him? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Huh. I mean, will it affect anything in the family if you block him? Will he?
No, it's my ex-husband. You know.
No, block him. Oh yeah, block him. Yeah, block him. Yeah.
It has. My son is 17. He can contact. He don't even have to. He still had my number from when, you know, years ago when I was married to his brother. You know what I mean? I just thought it was weird out the blue. Yeah, block him. It's like, dude, it's like he wants to get caught. Like, why would you do that? You know, like especially with somebody that you know, like it's like, come on, man. I bet you money in the past he's hit on his brother's exes. Like, are they close to each other? You know, he lives down south, and my ex lives here, so I don't know how close they really are. Mm-hmm. But their family, you know, they see each other and visit each other. I was really shocked at it, You know, because I never got that impression from him when I was married to his brother of anything inappropriate.
Okay, yeah. I guess it just happens. You just end up liking someone. Yep.
Okay. Well.
All right then. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. Any other questions? Any suggestions? Any more things you want to know?
Let me see. Not really. Just more red flags for men. You got videos on that, so I've been watching that. I've been watching the guys just to avoid not to date. If you wanted to share something else about that, like just other red flags, just to stay away from people. I think with me, and I said this before that financially I'm stable, and I think that I just give too much too soon. You know what I'm saying? And I think I always get burned with that. You know, if we're out and they don't want to, they don't have it, I take care of it. Or if they need something, I'm like, well, how can I help? So that's where I really had like, okay, I just got to stop volunteering, offering, saying what I do.
Yeah, people will not people respect you less when you give easy. You know, like when you're warm first, they respect you less. It's better to be cold first and warm up later.
Okay.
You know that it's just how it is. Like niceness. When you're nice, you end up losing because people will just take advantage of you. It's fucked up though, right? You think it will be different?
Yeah, but that's what I've been working on. Just not to even say what I do.
Yeah, exactly. Read the book, The Laws of Human Nature. It'll talk. It talks a lot about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I got it. And I got mastery too. I'm kind of reading both of them at the same time.
No, I read. Yeah, me too. I read them all.
Yeah. The other thing I had real quick before we get off is how do I, when you're doing the live stream and people can ask questions and things, how do I know when you're on live so that I can do that? You
gotta you have to hit the notification bar, like you hit the notification thing.
I hit the notification, but it seemed like I always get on too late, or you've already done it, or maybe I'm not hitting it right when it says notification.
Yeah, hit the notification bell. Maybe you're not doing it right. Go redo it again and make sure you're getting those notifications. Cause I
Go ahead.
No, because I do them every day. That's why.
Okay. And then how do you contribute by super chat? I couldn't figure that out either.
There's a money sign under where you chat, and you just hit that.
Okay.
That's all. Just hit the money sign.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Alex. You have helped me so much. I just feel better. I'm just so glad I was able to walk away from that toxic relationship and just recognizing now when people are being toxic and not. You talked about something like you want that we stay because we want that. What word did you use? Not approval, but
validation.
Validation. That's why we stay. Like we want to be validated.
Yep. Pretty much. Exactly. Yeah, and you can learn to validate yourself by doing things that brings pride, like drawing, or doing some art form. You feel anything that makes you proud of what you did is something that you could use to replace the validation from people. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you're prideful of something, it means that you're getting validation from other people. Like even though it comes from yourself, but you're also sort of getting that same feeling that when you get validated, So it's a good way to get self-esteem through being creative and expressing yourself creatively in something that you could improve in gradually and feel good about yourself as you see yourself improving.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. And you know where to contact me, okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, be safe. Bye-bye. All right, people, that's how it is. Give me 1 second, people. Let me put you guys on hold, all right? 1 minute. I got a call in like 10 more minutes, but let me put you guys on hold, all right? 1 minute. All right, ladies. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to get a guy back after you pushed him away 1 minute with your neediness. After you didn't listen to my advice and telling you don't text him back. All right, how do you get him back?
So this is what we're going to talk about today, all right? And this is something that's very simple, because if it was because
1 minute, people.
you
I'm
were
going
needy,
to be.
then there's a very simple solution. A lot of people get mad at
I'll
me
be back. Okay.
when I say there's a simple solution for your problem, because they feel angry. They're like, yeah,
1 minute.
why is it so simple? Isn't it supposed to be complicated? No. When it becomes complicated, that means there's no order. There's a lack of order. There's a lack of focus. A lot of time for the most complicated problems requires very simple solutions. The most complicated problem in the world is selfishness and greediness, and the easiest solution is going within yourself. But because of that, we don't do that. We just look on the outside, and so that's where politics and complications come into play. But politicians with high levels of self-awareness and empathy, and whose values are based on based on, how can I say it, are based on intrinsic motivation rather than extrinsic motivation, we usually yield to a better world. But I'm coming out of the subject. But let's talk about this. How do you get a guy back up and push them away with your neediness? So let's say you're talking to a guy and you met him and you were a little bit too needy with him, right? By the way, if anyone takes notes, let me know. And if you took notes, please send it to me, okay? Let me know. So if you got with a guy and he liked doing all sort of stuff, but you were too needy and that pushed him away, this is what you can do, okay? The first thing you have to do is step away from his life for a few weeks to maybe a few months. Why? Because you got to reset his perception of you. He already has a perception of you of being needy. So what you have to do then is to reset his clock, reset his perception of you by making space. That's what happens a lot with our friends. You know, when you have a friend of yours and you haven't seen your friend for a long time, right after you see him, you got to get acquainted. You feeling him back. You're like, how is he? Is he the same person that I left before? Right? And then you guys are back to being friends. But if you notice that he changed, there's a new dynamic, a new way of communicating. The eye contact is not the same. Everything's not the same, right? So as humans, we're never ending flux of change. We're very dynamic by nature. That's why we got our brain has neuroplasticity for that same reason. We got to adapt to the environment. That's why we proliferated throughout all of these years. So when you talk, you got to take a break at least a month or more than a month. Why? Because he has to forget how you are. He has to forget how you are. Like you know those friends that we say to ourselves, man, why am I not friends with him? And then you see him again, then you're like, oh fuck, wait a minute, that's why I'm not his friend. When you in that space is when you forget how he is. You know, it's kind of like when you go back to an ex. You're like, oh, why did I break up with you? 10 minutes later, oh fuck, no wonder that's why I broke up with him. And that's what happens. So the same thing with you. You want to give him that space so he forgets you, right? But during that space, you want to continue. You want to be on his Facebook, all right? If you guys are on social media together, you want to stay on his. You want to be continue being his social media buddy, right? But then after a couple months, it doesn't matter. It depends on how needy you were. After a couple months, I would say 2 or 3 months or something like that, right? You contact them again, all right? You contact them again. Or he'll contact you. But what I recommend, though, is to start liking statuses. Start liking a few of his statuses. But within that moment of you being away as well, and I always say this, get in shape. Work on your physical. Work on getting physically better. You have to. Because what you want to do is he wants to remember you. But then when he sees you again, he needs to say, oh, fuck, wait a minute, you got better looking. You know? And the easiest way to do this is to actually get in shape. Okay? So I'm not fat shaming. Oh, my God, he's telling us to be healthy. How dare he? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying get in shape, motherfucker. All right? Get in that gym. All right? It's not bad. It's not going to kill you. All right? It's not going to kill you. So when you do that, so he returns, he's like, oh, fuck, damn, girl, you got better looking. You know? And that's
all right.
So then what you want to do then
sorry,
is
people.
once that happens,
the landlord came knocking. He wasn't looking for me though, but he was a little intimidating. All right, let me see what we have here. We have all right. We got a $5 donation by. Thank you, welcome. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. All right, let's begin this. Right. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna. Let's see if somebody could top $20 donation today before the 1 hour. I don't think someone's gonna do that, but let's see if somebody could do it. But let me answer some of you guys questions. Let me see. I'm trying to see some questions to answer. Actually, I'm a Sagittarius, just so misunderstood. Guys are very sweet, but love their freedom. He knew me long. Okay. I got a question. Question: should, if me and this guy been in love for 6 years, but I blocked him last year and he been trying to contact me all the time, and he had ex he went with for 10 months. Uh, but I had blocked him last year and he been trying to contact me all the time, and he had an ex he went with for 10 months. I don't know what you're asking, to be quite honest with you. Um, I have a recommendation for you. Does he still like me after I told him I find a girlfriend and he did it? I don't get it. Watch. I think. What is your job? Is anybody even putting anything that makes any sense in this? I mean, I don't read. I can't. Nothing you guys are writing is making sense. All right. Let me show you guys my favorite part of my book of Mastery by Robert Greene. All right. And I'm gonna give you guys my commentary based on what we listen to. All right. So let's listen to this.
Remember spending hours on the beach. 6.
This is literally my favorite part of his book.
Undetermined by speed. He was concerned that it could. The scholar would training, reflection, success or failure, furtherance or resistance, learn to make the necessary connections unconsciously. The acquired and the intuitive working hand in
This is chapter 21.
hand, so that a unison results, which is the world's wonder. The world is ruled by bewildered theories of bewildering operations, and nothing is to me more important than, so far as is possible, to turn to the best account what is in me and persists in me, and keep a firm hand upon my idiosyncrasies. These would be the last words he would write. Within a few days, he was dead, at the age of 83.
Listen.
For Goethe, a turning point came in his life with the great success of The Sorrows of Young Werther. He could not help but be dazzled by his sudden fame. The people around him were clamoring for an encore. He was only 25 at the time. For the rest of his life, he would deny the public such an encore, and none of his subsequent writings would approach the success of Werther, although in his last years he was recognized as Germany's great genius. To deny the public what it wanted was an act of tremendous courage. To decline to exploit such fame would mean that it would probably never return. He would have to give up all of that attention. But Goethe felt something within him that was much stronger than the lure of fame. He did not want to be imprisoned by this one book, devoting his life to literature and creating a sensation. And so he chose his own unique and strange path in life, guided by an inner force that he called his demon, a spirit of restlessness that impelled him to explore beyond literature, to the core of life itself. All that was necessary was to master and channel this spirit, implanted in him at birth. In the sciences, he followed his unique path, looking for deep patterns in nature. He extended his studies to politics, economics, and history. Returning to literature in the last phase of his life, his head now teemed with links between all forms of knowledge. His poetry, novels, and plays were suffused with science, and his scientific investigations were suffused with poetic intuitions. His insights into history were uncanny. His mastery was not over this subject or that one, but in the connections between them, based on decades of deep observation and thinking.
This is the part that fascinates me, is that mastery, peak of mastery, the real peak of mastery doesn't come in your 20s. It comes in around your 50s and 60s. Because it's not that you know something so well, but that you have an accumulation of specialties. You can literally devote 10 years to one subject, 10 years to another, 10 years to another, and 10 years to another. You bring them all together into one field that expresses your unique individuality. You see, only you yourself, you are unique in this way. You have a combination of likes and dislikes. That combination of like and dislike is unique to you. And not only that, some people may have the same combination of the things you like and dislike, but they don't have the same perspective of the world, simply because you guys have different backgrounds. As a result, what your brain will yield will be different than what other people will yield, despite how similar your backgrounds are. So that's what you guys have to understand, is that everyone has a message that their DNA is trying to put out into this world. In your genetic code, you have a certain destiny, almost like a seed that is destined to become a flower. You have a certain purpose for destiny that has been given to you, not by some divine force, but by pure fucking chance, right? And so your purpose in life is to completely express what's in yourself, what makes you as an individual. That is your purpose, to express it. There are some things and some discoveries that are meant only for you. There are some discoveries that are only meant for certain people, not because God gave it to them, but because they have the unique arsenal, the unique desires, likes and dislike that will inevitably cause them to stumble on those discoveries. You see, because you cannot really discover the mysteries of the universe through pure rational thinking. It's something that you just stumble upon by almost like by pure what's this thing called, not epiphany, by pure oh my god, what's this concept called, by when it just happens by pure chance, serendipity, right? Discoveries happen in from a place of serendipity, but serendipity only happens when you have accumulated a such a deep and profound knowledge base on different subjects, but that they just randomly converge, and then suddenly a certain combination produces this. It's almost like it's almost like um it's almost like the universe, right? Earth just so happened to be in the perfect place in the universe out of pure chance, right? Like it just happened to be thrown on the right direction and at the right speed, and it just happened to be at the right spot. So what happens is that when you learn a depth of knowledge, when you have a variety of knowledge in your head, what will happen is that they will just be converging with each other. And one day you're taking a shower and suddenly you're like, holy shit, wait a minute. I just discovered something. Not because you did it on purpose, but because that knowledge was in your head and you had a purpose. You were looking for something, so your brain was always activating, and then suddenly it just happened. See what I'm saying? That's how I come up with subjects. Like I'm just chilling, and because I have questions in my head, the questions that I have in my head, like my questions, my curiosity keeps this machine working. It keeps this machine of serendipity working. I keep adding in new information through observing my experiences, learning from clients, learning from teachers, right? I keep adding in information, and what happens is that from time to time, things just come to the surface with like, and it just feels like it just feels like it comes from heaven. It's in my head, constantly trying to reassort itself and trying to figure itself out. That's serendipity. All right, let's keep listening to this.
Goethe epitomizes what was known in the Renaissance as the ideal of the universal man, a person so steeped in all forms of knowledge that his mind grows closer to the reality of nature itself and sees secrets that are invisible to most people.
Oh my God, I love that. I love how he puts it. How he says, you get it. Let's go back to that part. Listen to that part.
Were suffused with poetic intuitions. His insights into history were uncanny. His mastery was not over this subject or that one, but in the connections between them, based on decades of deep observation and thinking. Goethe epitomizes what was known in the Renaissance as the ideal of the universal man, a person so steeped in all forms of knowledge that his mind grows closer to the reality of nature itself and sees secrets that are invisible to most people.
Remember what he said? It says that your mind grows closer to the reality of nature itself. Think about that. Everything that we do that functions properly reflects nature. How the fuck did we create cameras? We first looked at the eye. Everything that functions reflects nature, the technology that nature has. So if you want your brain to work at its optimal, it has to reflect nature. You cannot just be focusing on one subject. Your vision becomes myopic, and you just focus on one subject, and you just, how can I say this? It's like people who did martial arts and they only focus on jiu-jitsu, or and they only focus on kung fu, but they didn't know about the kicking part, or they didn't have any ground game, right? nature reflects flexibility. It shows your ability to go into one subject and onto the other, right? And it also nature also says the strongest idea wins over the other. Things are always being recycled. You never stay the same. You're always changing with your environment. So, but when you're someone who has closed-minded, who has a strong belief system, and you're not adaptable, you think you know everything, you're never going to reflect nature. In fact, you're going to reflect the superficiality of humans. Nature is more bendable. It's more, it undulates. It goes up. It's like a wave. It's not constant. The mind of masters are like that, and that's where you have to be. It has to reflect nature. Nature is flexible. All right, let's keep listening to it.
Today, some might see a person such as Goethe as a quaint relic of the 18th century, and his ideal of unifying knowledge as a romantic dream. But in fact, the opposite is the case, and for one simple reason. The design of the human brain, its inherent need to make connections and associations, gives it a will of its own. Although this evolution might take various twists and turns in history, the desire to connect will win out in the end, because it is so powerfully a part of our nature and inclination. Aspects of technology now offer unprecedented means to build connections between fields and ideas. The artificial barriers between the arts and the sciences will melt away under the pressure to know and to express our common reality. Our ideas will become closer to nature, more alive and organic. In any way possible, you should strive to be a part of this universalizing process, extending your own knowledge to other branches, further and further out.
You see, that's what I'm doing. Again, look, a lot of teachers teach, but they don't apply what they teach to their students. You see what I'm saying? They don't apply it. I sort of want to be the example where not only I tell you guys to do things, I also show you guys to do it. Okay, look, I teach about dating advice. All right, that's fine. But I'm also learning about fucking, like I said, I show it because I'm proud, but I'm also learning about art. Oh, I love any chance I get to show this, I show, right? I'm also learning about art. I'm also learning about drawing, the color theory. I'm learning about color theory. In fact, I may even start studying geometry because it teaches me about drawing. It informs my drawing. So it's kind of like, all right, Alexis, you're literally doing something that doesn't relate to your field. Okay, just let me master that. Let me master my field, that field of drawing. And if I master the field of drawing, what's going to happen when you know how to master something, you're able to bring it to any field because you have a mastery of it. If you're a master at something, you're able to combine it with anything because you have a mastery. So it benefits any area if you bring it to it. So yeah, it may not benefit me now, but 10 years into the future, I'll be a YouTuber and an artist. It pretty goddamn good, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm gonna have the advantage because I may not be as good as most people, but simply because of my quote unquote fame in YouTube, it makes it. I'll be honest with you, knowing how things will project, I'm gonna have a pretty decent Instagram following, which I'll be able to sell my art. So not only will I send people to my Instagram from YouTube, but also they'll find out I sell art. And since I'm a YouTuber they like, since they're following me, they'll follow me and buy some of my art and get coached by me. It's a good combination, right? It's not that bad. All right, people, look, man. Oh, you want to bring the art to the camera? Look what it says, right? Look what it says right here. Can anybody read what it says? It says, if she's 15, then I'm 15. If anybody knows R. Kelly, he's an alleged pedophile. So he's pretty mad. He's not happy in this drawing. All right, people, this is Alex from mindfulattraction.org. I'm not going to be doing this right now. I'm going to be coaching a client. In a few minutes, I'm going to go back to the men's channel and teach there. All right. If you guys want one-on-one coaching, go to mindfulattraction.org and you guys be safe. Bye-bye.